can't be separated. I want to fight. You're all
I had a
good?
chip in my tooth. Our next segment, we have
Hi, I'm Stacy Queen.
and I'm Ellawarra.
And welcome to the Diva Dolls Pod.
The pod where we discuss the then, now, and forever of women's wrestling within the WWE.
Ew.
I
I don't know what my hands were doing during that. I'm so sorry.
You were Auslan interpreting.
Yes.
I'm sure it meant something.
Actually, I do know some Auslan.
What's this mean?
It means fuck off. It's either fuck off
love
or
that.
fuck
I
you.
know that this means cunt and vagina.
Yes, and
I think this is penis. Oh my god! You can now join our hearing loop during our Twitch streams. I cannot. Let's get into wrestling.
This week we will be discussing all of the fun campery leading up to the Survivor Series 1999 pay-per-view.
So iconic. So we ended our last episode with Chyna becoming the first ever women's Intercontinental Champion and still only women's Intercontinental Champion. And the Fabulous Moolah defeated Ivory to become the oldest ever and still the oldest ever champion in WWE. But she beat Ivory to become the WWF Women's Champion.
Yeah, she did. And the first segment that we get to see on Monday Night Raw is Michael Cole interviewing Moolah and Mae Young. And they are squabbling.
It reminded me of when my grandma went into a home. She never wanted to go and do like the activities together or go and have lunch with them because the old bitches would just fight.
Yeah.
They would always just fight. And these two Mae was jealous that Moolah is champion.
Yeah. And she wants a title shot.
Yeah. She wants that belt, bitch.
Yeah. And of course it ends in a brawl that the referees have to come in and try and split up.
So funny. I cannot.
So we'll get to see that later in the episode. But next we have Chyna making her way to the ring she's not by herself.
She's not.
She's with Miss Kitty, who has now dressed as Chyna.
She's an impersonator.
Interpreter. No, that was us earlier.
I felt like I was watching Cher and Chad Michaels walk to the ring.
Oh my god! Okay,
it was.
Can we discuss how awful Kitty's wig is?
Oh, it is a Party City black. It's like a lob.
Yeah, it's giving wrestler strong girl black wigs, hair pieces.
So on the packet it says costume of first ever international champion wrestling girl, black hair, leather outfit.
Leather outfit, teaming with the boys, wrestling the boys, strong lady, big draw.
So funny.
Wig.
I love. What's that Halloween company called that does those?
Party City?
No,
Spirit.
It's called Spirit Halloween. Spirit Halloween. The off-brand Halloween outfits for characters on TV.
Yeah. I really liked about Miss Kitty's outfit. She's got little handcuffs on her shorts.
Very cute. These outfits are actually really fierce. I think the girls back in the day, Chyna was the only one serving like a consistent, like, this is my iconic look. Besides Ivory in a fucking purple chiffon.
Yeah.
I think Chyna had the most like striking look, which like you can see it today with Rhea. She like kills it with like the leather and the whole like punk of her look. And like back then, Chyna was really You wouldn't think that Chyna, out of all the girls, would be the fashion girlie, but
here we are.
Here she was. She was killing it. But yeah, they come down to the ring, and Chyna wants to have an open challenge, but has a warning that if you can't handle the heat, get out of the kitchen.
Yeah.
So funny.
But who answers the challenge? Y2J.
Chris Jericho, BB.
Yeah.
I didn't know that he had debuted yet, because I remember his whole thing was like the whole Y2K countdown to the new year, like the 2000 new year, but must have debuted before this.
Yeah. So I think the story was that he'd seen in like a post office there was a countdown to the millennium, and he was like, what if that was my debut?
He comes down to the ring and he's on the microphone and says that Chyna is embarrassing to the Intercontinental Champion, and then lists off all the iconic people that have won the title, such as Steamboat and the Ultimate Warrior and all of these iconic champions, and then says that she is a hideous, grotesque freak of nature.
Yeah,
rude. So rude.
Yeah. I also have some quotes here. The thought of you being a believable champion is more enhanced than your breasts are. I would never hit a woman, but you are not a woman. You are a grotesque freak of nature, and I will beat the hell out of you to restore some credibility to that championship.
Wow. They literally said, Jeff Jarrett's gone, let's just copy and paste his character and give it to Jericho.
Yeah. Because that's the only thing that they can do for a Battle of the Sexes storyline.
Honestly, so fucking stupid. But yes, this is the beginning of the Chyna Chris Jericho feud, which ends up being quite iconic in history.
Yeah. So now we're already across the SmackDown.
Yes.
It was a quick trip. Backstage, we see the elderly women getting ready for their match. And when they show Moolah, I think it's Jerry who says this. He says, "Who did her makeup? Bozo the Clown?"
Well, we saw that makeup we reviewed. She had like a purple lip on and all the blush. Oh. They were still trying to figure out how to use makeup back in
Macca's logo.
But yes, we're having a match between Mae and Moolah, and even though they're facing each other, they dress like a tag team. Literally, same boots, same outfits, same jackets, just in red and green.
Yeah. Mae Young comes to the ring, and it's the frumpiest music I've ever heard in my life. Like, she might as well be commentating.
That's spinning monkeys TikTok sound.
Yeah,
it's very that.
But the thing that does separate their outfits is Mae Young has her crown.
Oh, she has her crown. It's so fun. They actually found that on that new TLC show that they do. Oh, where they go and find all the they found her crown sitting in some stadium that she wore it at. It was actually the same stadium that what's his name? Austin drove the beer truck into. For some reason, it was chilling in their little collection that they had there. She probably left it over after a show, and they were just like, "Oh, let's just go put it in."
Dementia Doll. She forgot.
The match kicks off. That was the funniest bit. I think Moolah kicked Mae in the stomach, and then King says, "Watch out, or she'll never have babies again."
So Mae has the upper hand. And when Moolah is down, she's giving her the DX crotch chops. Suck it.
She's doing these ones.
Yeah. Then
Moolah does like a drop kick. A literal drop kick to Mae Young. I'm like, how did she get her feet up that high that she got into? She is 76. How is she jumping into a drop kick and actually hit Moolah in the face? Yeah. Mae in the face. Too much.
So then the next sequence is interesting. Moolah throws Mae out of the ring, over the announce table, back into the ring, But then Mae gets the upper hand. She's up on the second rope and somehow gets her arm caught in the ref's t-shirt. And then Fabulous Moolah keeps trying to Irish whip her, but every time they trip over because her arm is still stuck in the ref's shirt. Like 2 or 3 times this happens again and again. But then Fabulous Moolah does the crotch chop to Mae Young.
So funny. It's like watching a drag queen when they get like their bracelet stuck in their chiffon or something and they're trying to get it undone while they're doing a number. They just can't get it undone. So fun. It's like literally watching my grandmas having a fucking match. It's so funny. And they're fucking dead. So
well, yeah.
Ivory ends up coming down and interfering, which leads to a DQ finish. Mm-hmm. She beats down on both of them. Yeah. She just hates them all. Tori ends up coming down. Jackie ends up coming down. Luna ends up coming down. And it breaks into an all-out fucking brawl.
Yeah.
Absolutely nuts.
All the women everywhere all at once.
Yes. Yes.
Essentially, it looks like this is the start of the build to Survivor Series.
Yes. Because what happens at Survivor Series? Multi-person matches, baby.
Of course. We're now over at Sunday Night Heat, and Tori walks up to the Dudley boys who are watching the monitor backstage and watching Kane in the ring. She walks up just as Bubba Ray Dudley is calling him the big Ed R word.
Yes.
She's like, you boys having a good time? You guys okay? And they're like, never mind. Well, to be fair, Bubba Ray Dudley did have a stutter at this point.
I will never forget the fucking promo where he's like, when The Rock asks him what their name is, we are the do, and then The Rock goes, it doesn't matter. Dumb. Iconic.
I also included this weird segment because it looked like it was an interview with Chyna, but it was just like a recap. The only thing I've got written is that she says that she would not be content maintaining a female role here in the WWF.
Yes. She don't want to be just left behind. Yeah. She wants to be. She got main character syndrome.
She does,
and I'm here for it.
Okay, so Chris Jericho is in the ring. And he's cutting a promo, and he says, Chyna, I touched a nerve in you, and that's all I'd ever want to touch.
Oh my god. I forgot that he always like dragged on his words in his promos.
Yeah. But he issues a challenge for Chyna. And she plays into what Jericho was saying. She's like,
oh my god, this is so funny.
Yeah. She said, there's nothing else I'd rather do than if you called it, I'm cramping, I'm PMSing. You know what? I need to wash my hair. Oh, and I've got so much laundry to do. And last but not least, and I'm sure you're used to hearing this, not tonight, Chris. I've got a headache.
I've got a headache.
Ended him.
So funny. KO. Sorry, baby. No match tonight. Got a headache.
No match for Chris. Well, you know what? I feel like I'm starting to get a bit of a headache. Do you want to take a little break?
Yeah, I'm cramping. I'm going to go take some Metamucil.
I've got some laundry to do. I'll see you in a bit.
The Diva Dolls podcast is sponsored by Salon Extensions,
offering all of our listeners a discount on the exclusive ponytail line from the winner of RuPaul's Drag Race Season 15's Sasha Colby.
Plus, any of our listeners who are licensed cosmetologists you can receive 15% off of all hair extensions in their pro store.
Because if it's good enough for mother, it's good enough for a diva doll like you.
You can now use code DIVADOLLS at checkout to get 15% off any of your purchases.
Cause you're a GODDESS.
Shop now at www.salonextensions.com.
That's SALONXTENSIONS.com. And we are back, and it is Monday Night Raw. And Mae Young and Moolah are friends again.
Yes.
They're still insulting each other for being one being older than the other. Mae insults her for being old, even though Mae is 4 months older than Moolah, that we have figured out in last week's episode.
Yeah, she's
But-
literally like, I want to thank you. You're the oldest person I've ever wrestled.
Which true,
It's
probably
true.
is. Yeah. But Moolah's got an announcement to make, and she said, I'm too old. I've got to give up this belt. I'm going to retire.
Yeah.
And she gives the belt to Michael Cole. But then Ivory comes out and says, no. I've got
Not
a
on my
rematch.
watch.
Not on my watch. I've got a rematch in my championship clause, and I want it now.
And
And
the match just starts. Like, a referee
Wait,
runs out.
I forgot the funniest line. She walked out with a broom and she said, hey, Moolah, I found your ride. It was outside in the handicap spot.
Because this is a Halloween.
Yes. So, yeah, she's a witch. But yeah, as you said, literally the match just starts.
And ends.
And it ends. Ivory's
Like-
the new champion.
I
So dumb.
wouldn't be surprised if this was under a minute.
Yeah.
But-
Is Ivory our first 2-time Attitude Era Women's Champion?
Yeah, she that we've been watching. Yeah.
Because Sable had it, then Jackie had it,
Mhm.
then Ivory got it.
So it was Jackie, Sable, Deborah,
Oh, Deborah.
Ivory,
Ivory,
Moolah,
Moolah, Ivory.
Ivory.
Wow. Watching this so like close together, it's so good to see, like to remember like all of this now.
Yeah,
So good. Love it.
that's the end of that. It was a very short title reign for Miss Moolah, but she defended it fiercely against Mae Young. So she
came to do what she needed to do.
Yeah.
I feel like there might have been like a conversation with Vince about being like, hey, can I come back and just be the oldest champion as well as the longest champion ever?
Mm.
So then they wrote this into the fucking storyline.
Sure. I mean, like, when business is booming, it's not very likely that an old timer would come back in and insert themselves into a storyline and try and get themselves a championship.
I'm trying to think who you're referring to now.
How The Rock came back and he pitched that he should be the one to end Roman Reigns' title reign.
Wow, if fucking Moolah was out here being the biggest fucking movie star in the world, maybe, but she wasn't in the Terminator or whatever.
No, but she got
fucking
her
most-
wish.
She did. She did. Sorry, Rock.
Oh, wow.
Maybe next year.
So next we have a mixed tag match. We have
Yes.
Chyna and D-Lo against Chris Jericho and someone from the audience. So Chris Jericho comes out and he's not yet decided on a woman to be his partner, but he instead decides that he will choose someone from the audience.
Oh my god.
As this person gets to the ring, I believe we are at liberty to say that it does not seem like she is a biological woman.
No.
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 King makes it a statement to say, wow, she's got big feet.
Yeah. So we can tell that something is happening here.
Yeah.
But the men start off the match. Chyna gets tagged in, and then the audience member
Mhm.
gets tagged in. So this audience member attempts to do a clothesline and then does the grind.
So dumb.
And then
I think the only way I could describe the next sequence is getting out of drag.
Chyna spears her wig off.
The wig falls off. Chyna rips off the skirt, the shirt, and this person is down to... They actually have long hair, naturally long hair.
Yeah.
And they're in a pair of pantyhose, stockings, over boy undies.
Yeah.
And a bra, but all the bra stuffing has come out.
Yeah.
And they end up getting laid out.
Uh-huh.
And it's on commentary, they're like, that looks like Stevie Richards.
Yep.
Is this the first time we're seeing Stevie Richards in a storyline?
The first time we are, yes. I don't know if he's appeared previously.
Because I know he was a part of that Blue World Order with the Blue Meanie, who we have seen before.
Well, actually,
I don't know if
we did see him in our episode with Santi. With Victoria.
T, we did, yes. Much shorter hair there. Much shorter hair in 2002.
Yes.
3, whenever the fuck it was.
Okay.
So, this is where the whole impersonator...
He's a female impersonator in this episode.
He is!
But it's so weird because, and I'm only bringing this up now because there's no other applicable point for me to bring this up. This isn't the only time that he's a female impersonator in the WWE. So in
no, it's not.
2004, he does the same thing, where he's impersonating a psycho woman that keeps attacking Trish.
Yes.
Anyway,
crazy.
So bizarre.
Anyway, how bizarre.
Chyna wins with a pedigree, and then Jericho attacks Stevie.
Yeah, absolutely nuts, crazy. Wow. She's got big feet, and she doesn't know how to tuck either, because when Stevie's laid out in the pantyhose, I can see the bulge. The bulge is bulging.
Ooh.
Ooh. Ooh.
So then we go to our next segment. X-Pac is being interviewed, and Tori interrupts, and she's like, he's been through so much. How could you do this? We have no idea what X-Pac did to this poor man. But Tori seems to be quite taken with Kane. And X-Pac is like, hey, you seem to be quite taken with Kane. Do you know that it wasn't just his face that got burned, but also his big red cock?
Was this at the point where Tori was a part of DX?
I don't think so.
Yeah, because there becomes a point where Tori forever wears the green tube top, and Kane joins DX, and it's a whole big thing. So I don't know if...
I don't think so.
Yeah. Not too sure. Anyway, let's move on.
The segment ends with her calling him a bastard. You bastard.
You're a bastard.
Chyna and Miss Kitty come out wearing matching master and slave tops.
We should get these made for the pod.
Who's who?
I'll be slave.
She has a new theme, which is the instrumental version of Who I Am.
This is who I am.
Not Vanessa Amorosi on the pod.
Vanessa Amorosi. This is who I am. What's This Is Who I Am?
Don't treat me like a woman.
Don't treat me like a woman.
Don't treat me like a man.
Don't treat me like a man.
Don't treat me like you know me. Just treat me for who and what I am.
Love that. That's so fierce.
Yeah.
So is that the debut of this song?
Well, of the instrumental version, yes, but we will get the debut of the actual song later in the episode.
Fierce.
Now, it's at this point that I believe I've missed something. I've missed a segment because Chyna says that Stevie Richards destroyed one of her outfits. So I believe Stevie must have impersonated Chyna.
Yeah, I don't know if that happened or if the clothes that they were wearing during the Jericho match for Chyna's, but they were wearing like a really frumpy skirt and a button-up white shirt, and I was like, I don't think that's from Chyna's wardrobe.
Yeah, I don't think so either. She says, Stevie Richards destroyed one of my outfits, so I'm gonna destroy his ass. She's gonna peg him. Oh! I don't know how to show that.
Oh, I'll get her some fisting lube from the sex shop.
Thank you.
Jericho then comes out, but it's not Jericho.
No, it's not.
It's a brunette Chris Jericho, and it's Stevie Richards impersonating Chris Jericho.
Yeah, and they have a match.
They do, and it's pretty much a squash.
Yeah.
I took a note here, and I was like, I don't know if it gets brought up at any time during. Does Jericho and Chyna continue into our next episode, or is this
Yes.
it? Okay, because they put
It
in here
continues
like
for a couple episodes.
love, because she wins with the pedigree, but then Jericho comes out, beats up Chyna, and puts her in the walls of Jericho. And I was like, I wonder if at any point Chyna puts Jericho in the walls of Jericho, but they call it the Great Wall of China. I was like, that'd be so camp. So I'm going to be listening out to see if that actually happens.
I love that. Fingers crossed.
The Great Walls of China.
See
how creative this writing team is.
Yeah. So next we have Stephanie to the ring.
Yes, to Stephanie.
Stephanie is on commentary for a match. The Test is in. Who cares? He wins the match, I'm pretty sure. And after the match, she gets into the ring and proposes to him because she finally remembers her love for Andrew. Oh.
Andrew, I have all of my memories and all of my feelings back. And I never want to leave you, Test. Will you marry me?
Yeah.
Yeah, bruh. Yeah, let's do it.
And the wedding is back on.
Back on. Love it. Absolutely love it.
Yeah. Well, before we go to SmackDown, do you want to go to a break?
Let's do it. I'm starving. I need something to eat.
Well, funnily enough, in my notes, next is Snackdown. So it's time.
Well, here's my blue chips. I'm gonna have a snack down right now.
All right, I'll see you in the break.
All right, we are back, and it is, I believe it was Thursday night back here.
Yeah.
Thursday night SmackDown, and it's we've got Too Cool versus the Hardy Boys with their manager,
Their servicer,
Terry.
Yeah.
And I think Terry has now taken the spot of Deborah Debauchery. We need to come up with a Terry. She does a terrible Terry. Terry's torturing. Terry's...
Terry troublemaking.
Some Terry trouble.
Terry trouble.
Terry troublemaking.
Just Terry trouble. There's a tongue twister. Terry trouble.
Terry trouble. And in this match, she gets up and she slaps Scotty Too Hottie, which the ref fully sees and doesn't do a DQ finish. They just let the Hardys win. With Jeff does a swanton bomb.
Yep.
But they mustn't have called it a swanton yet, because somebody goes, whoever's on commentary was like, "That's a senton bomb."
Yep. Not yet.
Anyway,
Soon.
That happened. Yeah.
Backstage, we have Mankind bumping into the Godfather's hose.
Yes, pimpin' ain't easy.
And he's like, "Remember, ladies, choose hugs, not drugs."
Yes!
And then he walks away, and you can hear Hose being like, "I think he's kind of hot." And it pans back to him walking away, scratching his ass.
Fist deep in his fucking crack.
Yeah.
So funny.
Sometimes you just gotta get it.
Yeah. Sometimes you just gotta get it. our next match we have, it's Chris Jericho versus the Godfather with the hoes at ringside.
Yes.
One of the hoes gets involved in the match and
Yes.
decides to kick Chris Jericho. They're dressed as a cheerleader. Surprise, surprise! It's our female impersonator, Stevie Richards, who is now a cheerleader. Which this
Or a
fucking
hoe.
backstage segment, a cheerleading hoe. He's the cheerleader that gives the blowjobs under the fucking bleachers at lunchtime.
Yeah.
The backstage segment, the interview after, is so funny. Because he says he's like China's biggest fan, and he goes, "Yeah, China, CHINA, China."
And then does he cartwheel out?
Cartwheel out. So stupid. So fucking stupid.
Oh,
Cannot.
I love this era.
I also didn't know Michael Hayes was a backstage interviewer until this next segment.
Linda couldn't be happier.
She is so happy.
Yeah. She's almost
Same
showing a
with Shane.
smile.
Yeah. I am so happy for my daughter Stephanie. She is going to be so happy.
I couldn't be happier. Look at the happy couple.
So dumb. Absolutely stupid. But Shane says the same thing. Very happy for his sister, while Stephanie is standing there like, "Oh my god, our family loves us." But they're up to something.
Yeah.
They're up to something.
So then we have Chyna heading to the ring, and she has her new theme.
She does.
Someone finally recorded the vocals for
Don't Treat Me Like a Man.
Yeah.
I would like to know like how they got the... I should really listen to the CVV interview with Jim Johnson to know how they got the people that come in and do the vocals for this.
Do they talk about it?
I don't know. I haven't watched it yet, but I know that they've got an interview. So maybe they talk about... Well, like, look at how Victoria's theme was made. They found fucking Nicki Minaj on Craigslist.
Is that tea?
Yeah. When I found out that Nicki Minaj voiced Victoria's theme, I was like, how? And then I researched it, and literally Victoria had an interview where she says that she found a hip-hop artist on Craigslist to come in and record the vocals for it. Wow. And then it ended up being fucking Nicki Minaj.
I ain't the lady to mess with.
Whoop! Whoop! Go! Oh. Anyway, yeah, Chyna comes out. Stevie comes out dressed as Elvis and sings to her. This was so funny. I didn't even want to write it down. I was like, we need to include like the clip in the episode.
Oh, I've got it written down.
Oh, I want you to sing the song.
She brings home the bacon, fries it up in a pan. She's not the wonder of the world. She'll never let you forget you're a man because she's a woman. WOMAN.
So dumb. So fucking dumb.
Hilarious. Chris Jericho interrupts and attacks him. And then Chyna with a fierce takedown.
Boom, bitch. Smack the shit out of him. It's a fucking all-out brawl.
Yeah.
The refs have to come and break it up. We have Triple H versus Test.
Yes.
Shane McMahon is the referee.
Yep.
And we have Vince at ringside. So gathering from this, I'm guessing Shane and Linda are pretending to be okay with this wedding. But Vince isn't. Vince is on Triple H's side, doesn't want Test to get married. But at some point during the match, up on the Titantron, they show Billy Gunn and Road Dogg, DX, have Steph in this room. I'm not sure what they're doing to her. They're tickling her, they're her, if they're doing something to her. But the door's open and then the door slams shut.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then they all fucking run out of the arena.
Well, yeah.
Big run.
And Vince runs back. And what does he yell?
What does he say again?
Stephanie! Stephanie! Stephanie!
Oh my god. So stupid.
So where's
yeah.
Stephanie gone?
We don't know. But Triple H won the match.
Yeah.
Count out.
Yeah. God, I hope nothing bad happens to her while she's kidnapped.
Yeah. Oh my god, this fucking next segment is so funny.
So we're now at Survivor Series. Please walk us. I'm gonna sit back. Walk us through the segment.
So Michael Cole's at the outside of the women's locker room.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't knock.
No.
Just bursts in there. Bursts into the women's locker room, and then the girls start flirting with him. But I'm just like, I love how they're all friends now. Jackie's friends with Terry.
Yep.
Ivory's friends with Tori.
Yep.
Everyone's in there just having a gay old time.
Yep.
And what does Terry say to Michael Cole? She gets something, or Ivory, they're like,
Yeah.
do you want to put this on me? Ooh.
Literally.
And Michael Cole's he's probably getting a fucking half chub in his pants because all these girls are getting changed in front of him and start flirting with him.
Gonna rub this baby oil on for me.
Yeah, rub it on me.
And then later that off.
But yeah, this segment leads us into our... Yeah, that's our women's champion. But this segment leads us into our 8 women Survivor Series match. But it's not a traditional Survivor Series match. It's just first pinfall wins.
Yes.
No eliminations in this one.
No.
They said, sorry, girls. That'll go for too long.
Yeah. So we've got the team of Mae Young, Moolah, Tori, and Deborah up against the team of Jackie, Luna, Terry, and Ivory.
PMS is back together, baby.
Yeah. But I have written here when Mae Young is making her entrance, Jerry Lawler says that she won her crown in a match with King Tut.
I wrote the same thing down. So stupid. He also said while Luna was coming to the ring, wow, Luna is a sandwich short of a picnic. My god, these poor girls. I wonder what they thought while they were watching this back. Fuck this guy.
I think they were fine with it.
Yeah.
I hope.
This is where I wrote the note. This is the 1999 equivalent of the WrestleMania 39 Damage Control versus Trish, Lita, and Becky match.
Yeah.
Stupid. But the match does not go for long.
No,
at all.
I literally wrote, I can't even take notes on this match.
Yeah, because I think it started and they all started brawling, and it ended up being Moolah and Ivory in the ring. I'm pretty sure nobody else gets tagged into it, and then Moolah just randomly pins Ivory, and then it becomes a brawl again.
Yep. Deborah rips off Terry's top.
Yep. Titties out.
Yeah.
Crazy. But that was our Women's Survivor Series 4-on-4 non-elimination first pinfall gets the win match.
Yeah. Elsewhere on the card, Tori tries to save Kane from X-Pac, and he gives her a spinning heel kick to the face.
Oh my god. Yeah. This fucking poor thing got knocked out.
Takes her out.
Honestly, she takes some bumps too. Not as many as Mae Young, but she takes some bumps. Is that it? I think that's it. Kane looked very worried, even though he's got a mask on.
For that segment, that was...
He was like...
Yeah.
He was worried with his hands instead of his facial expressions.
Yeah, so I think next week we'll get to see more of their potential romance.
Blossoming romance. Oh, so much love in the air.
So now it is our main event for this episode. It is Chyna defending her Intercontinental Championship against Chris Jericho. Singles match. No gimmicks, just a wrestling match.
And it's good. These two have good chemistry.
Mm.
It's funny because I remember there's an interview that Jericho has, and I think somebody asked him, who's the stiffest person you've ever worked with? And he said it was Chyna. She really wanted to fucking give it to the guys. So funny.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is, not to spoil it or anything, but this is the first of 3 back-to-back pay-per-views that they battle. So
Love it. So fierce.
yeah. The first note I have is that Chris Jericho tries to low blow her. She's like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, baby. Baby.
Yeah. He throws her over the announce table and then pours a bottle of water onto her.
So dumb. There's the part where Chyna does, when she's in, Jericho's in one corner, she's in the other, and she does the springboard elbow into the DDT. I'm like, that's like classic Chyna.
Yeah.
Michael got vintage Chyna.
Yeah.
Vintage Chyna. Such a good move. Love that.
The Chyna envy.
Yeah.
Then there was another spot where Chris removes the padding from the barricade and like slams her into it.
Yeah, they were going for it.
But then like
Hits her with the belt.
Yeah. He kisses Miss Kitty.
I want to kiss Chris Jericho. Back here.
I was gonna say not now. You don't want to
now, no.
You don't want to kiss Jericho.
Gravity caught up to Chris Jericho's body now.
Ooh.
Everything's just going droopy.
Wah, wah.
Poor guy. At least he's still a good character on TV. But yeah, there's like a
How
full
old is
on.
he?
Oh, let's have a look now. See, he'd be at least late 40s, maybe early 50s.
Late 50s. Because you got to think, this is 25 years
53.
ago.
53.
Only 53.
Yeah.
How old's CM Punk?
Well, you got to think, if Jericho's like in his prime here, 20 something, or 20, he would have been 21 during this era. If he's 53 now.
Yeah.
CM Punk.
No.
Mr. Phillip.
No, that math doesn't math.
Punk's 45.
Okay. 53, so 25 years ago would be 28.
Yeah, that's good maths. Well done. Anyway, back to the match. Yeah.
Chris is about to do a superplex from the top rope, but Miss Kitty distracts the referee, and Chyna low blows him.
Yeah.
And does a top rope pedigree.
Oh my god, it was so fierce. I fucking loved that.
Yeah. I wish the landing was a bit better, but like,
yeah,
still such a slay.
There's only so much you can do when you're doing a fucking pedigree from the top rope.
Yeah.
I love that on commentary King said, I really thought we were going to see a sex change in this match, referring to the title changing hands to a different sex, not referring to somebody actually transitioning.
I was so confused when I heard that. I was like, what? I don't remember that stipulation.
So yeah, the loser must transition.
Bring that stipulation in.
I don't know who it would have been easier for, because Chyna was quite masculine, but Jericho was actually quite feminine.
True. He was wearing all them sparkles.
So good. So good. But yeah, this is the end of Survivor Series.
Yeah, Chyna wins.
Love it. Fucking love it.
Retains her Intercontinental Championship.
Yeah.
Well, Illawarra, what was your takeaway from this week's episode?
Oh, there's just so much. I don't know. I think I'm just really loving the fact that they continued Chyna feuding with the boys. And her continuing to show that she can hang with the boys. Like, this match was actually really fierce. And it didn't have to have a gimmick for it to be fierce. Like the Jeff Jarrett one in the last episode where they needed fucking food, flour, and household items to do a match with a girl.
And
this showed that they could actually... Yeah, and a kitchen sink. This showed that she can actually just wrestle and hang with the boys. So, yeah. What about you?
My takeaway from this week is Miss Kitty's awful Chyna wig. I would like to take it away so that she can never wear it ever again.
Oh my god, so funny.
No more.
Yeah.
No more.
I think we've also got to give a shout out to Cross-Dressing Stevie. He did a good job. Good commitment to your character.
Any cross-dresser
So
has
funny.
my heart.
Yes. This is becoming really sad because I think our next episode is the last time we talk about 1999. that right?
Yeah. Illawarra, where can people find you on social media?
You can follow me at Ellawarra. That's ELLAWARRA. What about you, Miss the Queen?
I am
No.
everywhere.
Stacy the Queen.
Do you know how many people got? Do you know who does call me that? Queen Kong. I hate it.
What about you, Stace?
I'm everywhere at the Stacy Queen, and you can follow the Diva Dolls Pod everywhere at Diva Dolls Pod. Are you okay? Am I okay? That was the third time I'm doing it, and I'm not doing it again. You're gonna follow us wherever you're listening to us or watching us. Follow, subscribe, and what else can they do, Ella?
Hit that bell icon so you can come back and watch more of this fucking chaos.
We are trying our best. Like Ella was saying, next week we will be covering all the madness that went down at Armageddon 1999, and it is fucking chaos.
I can't wait.
Like actual titties on our screen. I think this week I'm in the walls of Jericho.
And I'm in the Great Walls of China.
Oh, I'm tapping out.
Tap it out.
I'll see you on the next one, Diva.
Goodbye.
The Diva Dolls podcast is brought to you by Stacy Queen and Ellawarra. All names, photos, videos, and audio used in this podcast are trademarks and copyrighted materials owned by the WWE and TKO Group Holdings. This podcast is not affiliated with or endorsed by the WWE and is intended for entertainment and informational purposes only.
Yeah, we're getting to the new millennium, baby.
The next episode is the last episode that's just about 1999. The episode after that is 1999 into 2000.
Yes. I can't wait for you to rewatch this footage and just see the slow motion. My headphone go hang into my earring, and then slowly just go boom and bounce off my boob.